All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, sisters, you too. This is Pastor Dow. Just got back from the airport, and I listened to a little bit of the news there on the radio. I picked up a few newspapers while I was out. I don't get the opportunity to pick up a few newspapers, so I was browsing through them. And of course, right on the headline, I want y'all to see this, of the USA Today. Look what it says. Obama demands gun plan. Now, I want y'all to understand something. This has already been in the making. The draft of this particular legislation right here, to where they want to restrict the freedoms and liberties of American citizens, is already out there. And then they put this pig up there called Bloomberg. And he's all out for it, gun control. Now, mind you, while they definitely don't want you to have any firearms, to possess any firearms to protect yourself, both of these guys have armed guards around them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year, non-stop. And what's amazing is that even after this tragedy that took place in Connecticut, is that Connecticut responded just like all other places respond. Whenever there is a crime that is committed by a human being using a gun, everybody rushes to the gun store. It's amazing, isn't it? I don't care if it's Oklahoma. I don't care if it's Katrina. I don't care if it's in Connecticut. I don't care if it's in New York. I don't care if it's in Chicago. Wherever they have a tragedy where someone used a gun to commit a crime, the American populace always respond. Especially even in electing Barack Hussein Obama as the president. They all rush to the gun store to buy up all the guns, all the bullets, the ammo, and anything they can get their hand on. Now, that is voting with your feet. As soon as one of these tragedies takes place, the news media, they all turn around and they rushed to only put up in front of the camera the people who are deceived by these stage playing hypocrites. That's what they never. It's a biased media. Now, the reason why I'm here today is because I wanted to speak to everybody who listens to me, and I hope that times you post these videos on Facebook. I hope you try to do everything you can to get the information out on social media networks, just to at least give people an opportunity to hear, because I believe I have the spirit of truth, and I believe I speak the truth. It may be painful, and you may not like to hear it, but nevertheless, it's still the truth. But you know what is utterly amazing to me? What is utterly amazing to me is how in this country, we have become non-responsive, dumb, dormant, docile, and demoralized. That's what we are as a people. But no matter how much they push for gun legislation, and they're pushing for this in January 2013 coming up, the people respond different. And the news media, now listen to me very closely. You be careful, and I'm learning this even more so because, see, this type of response right here from all these, alternative news media sources. I'm going to give you something that I want you to pay attention to, that all the alternative news media sources will not say to you. You see, because even if you restrict information and you don't tell all of the information, people's minds can only go in a certain direction. All these so-called alternative news media sources, all these so-called people who have involved in this information, watch this. They all tell you that the government of the United States of America is corrupt, and it is. They all tell you that the bankers are all corrupt, and they are. They were all telling you that the economic situation in this country and all these politicians and everything that they're doing, it's all wicked. That's the truth. They'll all tell you that it's the elite, the so-called elite. And of course, everybody fingers the Rothschilds, everybody fingers the Bilderbergers. But you know what's amazing to me is, do you know what is amazing to me? There is 2 countries on this earth that goes around and kills people and nobody does nothing about it. Unmerciful. They kill them. Murder thousands of people. Many Iraqis died at the hands of their bombs. Many of the Palestinians are being butchered and slaughtered ever since 1948. Many of the Afghan people have lost whole entire families by drones. And of course, with us, it's considered collateral damage. I am amazed at all these alternative news media sources who know who the movers and shakers are, yet they refuse to tell you, the people, exactly who they are. I'm talking about stage playing, inappropriate, out of bound attitudes, sold out under the table, old-fashioned, boot-licking, knuckle-dragging hypocrites. But they get out here in front of you and act like chicken hawks. Hey, we're going to go get them. Rah! All the while, they're deflecting your mind. They're deflecting from the real issues, and they never tell you who the real true enemy is that is operating behind the scenes. Now, just by the mere fact, I want you to listen to me real close. See, because I'm a pastor, I don't claim to be an alternative news media source. I tell the truth. And you notice how unpopular truth is becoming to us in this country? The words of the Messiah coming to pass. You will be hated of all men. You know, anytime you stand for the truth. And of course, that's the reason why people want to get rid of the Bible. Because over half of the population in the world, all of them, the religions, have some type of what they call a holy book that has morals and values in it. The people who disagree against those morals and values is the people who choose to not follow those books. And that's the war and that's the fight that we have going on today. But I am amazed at how hated that I'm becoming, how hated a lot of people are becoming simply because they tell you the truth. We know that our money system is jacked up. We know that they're never, ever going to pay off the national debt. Have you people been paying attention that China is not loaning us no more money no more? Have y'all paid attention to that? Have you paid attention that China, Russia, and Iran and all these people are starting to trade between themselves and opt out of the dollar? Have you paid attention to that? Why is it that anytime some of these other smaller countries have that kind of behavior, we go bomb them and beat up on them, and then we get the news media out there to paint them as the worst villains that they are in the world, even though they've been to the White House, sit down and had dinners with the presidents and all the heads of the states. Let me tell you people out there in these foreign countries, you ever become a friend of the United States, it's only a matter of time before we're going to come and bomb your country. Because we gangsters. But I'm amazed. I am utterly amazed how we are as a people. But you know what? Everybody one day is going to die. And nobody seems to believe in an eternal judgment. But one boast that all of us, whether we believe or not, none of us are going to escape death. And we're going to find out if there's something else on the other side of this thing, or this was all that there is to it. Because when it's all said and done, even in this life, somebody is right and somebody is wrong. Governments use religion as a tool to deceive the masses of the people. Big time preachers and teachers run block because they don't want you people to be presented with the truth. The news media don't want you to be presented with truth. Have you noticed RT, NBC, CSNBC, ABC, CNN, Fox News, every single one of them has all been running non-stop nonstop in favor of gun control. Every single one of them, including the alternative news media sources. I am utterly amazed at the hypocrisy and the stage playing that's going on. And hey, I tell you, it's a bad situation. It's a bad thing. And then of course, look. They got this guy right here. This time of year, look. See, I told you people they hate the truth. Now I'm gonna ask you a question. If you are a parent and you do not want your children to lie to you ever, and you get upset and you even discipline them for doing it, what kind of parent are you that would turn around and then lie to your children about this guy right here who's going to come down the chimney and land in the fire and then go put some presents under the tree? What kind of character do you have living in a land of make-believe? Now, wait a minute. You teach your children what you say. You don't want them ever to lie to you, but then you practice hypocrisy your own self. See what the problem is? It's all this double-mindedness and then all this two-spirited stage playing that we got going on today. I know one thing. There's only going to be a few. Always has been, always will be. Everybody that we know of, whether it be on the social, political, and economic, judicial system, religious front, it makes no difference. We're going to continue to keep declining as a society because we have the evil ones in place, and they're going to continue to keep on pushing this envelope. And I can't expect too much response at all from the American people because we've been fluorinated half to death, which if you go back into history and you see what happened to the so-called Jews in the so-called Holocaust, you'll see that they gave them fluoride to keep them docile and dormant so that they wouldn't raise up and cause any problems. And then we're vaccinated half to death. And we got flu shots half to death. I mean, we are just drugged up as a nation. The fight is literally gone. Fight is literally gone. And of course, the military has no problem whatsoever at all getting people to come in. You know the reason why? Because the economy is tanking. It's sinking. And the only available job that pays a lot of money is the military. And they pay you a lot of money because all that's left out here in this country is service sector jobs, minimum wage, which is at poverty level. But your politicians get up here and grandstand in front of you and they tell you we've added 200,000 jobs this quarter. That's what we've done. The economy is booming. We're building cars again in Detroit. The auto industry they can lie to you with a straight face and you do nothing about it. Pastor Dow, did you vote this last election? No. Why? Because I'm not going to be part of the problem. Well, what are you going to do? I told you I'm going to do. Type 360. Now understand what that means. And maybe you have peace in your heart.